Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and my Facebook page, The Anxiety Princess, where we're talking about everything that has to do with mental illness. Basically, tapping into our emotions in order to determine what is causing our mental health related illnesses. So, I laughed at the beginning of this because I didn't think I would still remember this intro, considering that I have been an absent mother on this page. But before I even get there, let me start off by welcoming the new people and just say to the new people, you are welcome here, and I hope you will find what you're looking for. I hope you'll find answers. I hope you'll find healing, but most importantly, I hope you'll find hope. That's all I'm trying to do. Yeah, I'm a bit out of breath because I've been trying to move around the room to get good lighting and stuff like that. Can't shoot in my room where the lighting is amazing because my husband is still sleeping. So yeah, I welcome the new people. Little book is here, and let me just do a disclaimer. I am not a psychologist, psychiatrist, or a doctor, or anyone who has been trained to deal with mental health related issues. I'm merely someone who has been living with anxiety for over 2 years, and this is my journey. And I speak about things that matter to me. I speak about things I've experienced, and I speak my own truth and what has happened to me. And I tell my story the way it happened to me. See, so please, if you are new on this page, just know that this channel should not be a replacement for anything that you need to do. You still need to go to the doctor. You still need to go for counseling. You still need to decide whether you're going to go on meds or not. Please do not use this channel or Facebook page as a substitute for everything that you're supposed to be doing. Cool. My absence, a few I think last week I did a quick live where I was basically explaining to you guys why I have been away. Honestly, I've just been embarking on a journey of self-discovery, a journey of being unapologetic, a journey of, growing myself. But I did not neglect this page I didn't neglect this page. Let me put it that way, because I believe that I've equipped everyone with the tools they need in order to navigate their mental illness. Like it's not about me dropping a video every week. It's about, here are the tools, utilize them. I've given you guys over 20 videos. I was supposed to do 6 videos and that was it. But another thing with me is I don't like talking about things that I don't find, like, I don't have a passion for, or especially in this platform where you're talking about mental illness, I can't talk about things that have not happened to me. Do you get it? So I can only speak my truth and speak my own experience. Then I have more to add there, of which at that point I looked at all the topics that I had jotted down during the when I was planning during the Christmas break. But then I was like, I'm not finding something that's very, it's speaking to me. Let me talk about it. So if I'm gonna give you guys garbage, I'd rather not shoot a video. It's as simple as that. But so what does this mean going forward? I will still shoot videos. I will still drop the narrative and all that stuff. But if I don't set expectations, then the disappointment is less. So, but I'll try to be as consistent as possible. Yes, I do have topics that I'm passionate about, but yeah. Another thing that has been bothering me a little bit is the fact that I can't upload my videos on Facebook anymore. I don't know if it's based on my phone or it's Facebook reacting. And I started the platform on Facebook for a reason. I knew that I would reach, yes, YouTube is a big thing, but I can't navigate the world of YouTube. Like, I'm not a content creator. I'm not in that space. Although you would say, okay, I'm a content creator because I'm doing this, but I'm not, it's not my thing. To get it, to be an editor, tech, and all those things. So Facebook is raw. Facebook is real, guys. Facebook is real. So that's the reason why I wanted to to walk this journey here. And merely me uploading my videos on YouTube was to ensure that everybody, even those who did not have Facebook, had access to them. But yeah, we'll figure out. Let's see if this video will drop on Facebook. I hope it does. I really hope it does. So as I said, I have been embarking on a journey of being unapologetic and just, taking chances and, testing waters. But, God has been faithful. God has been faithful. My July month is my birthday month, so it started on a real high with amazing news that I received, which I can't share at this point. I will share them in August. So I can't really share it now, but God has been faithful. Like, I'm an hour of what he has done to me, and I am super grateful for my prayers, my husband's prayers. Everybody prays for me. My aunt, I know that woman prays for me more than she prays for herself. So I am just grateful. It's amazing news. I'll share when the time is right. I'm not pregnant. It's not that. Cool. So as I'm saying that, I started my July on a very high. I hope this phone is sitting right. I bought a new ring light, but it's sitting very funny and it keeps falling in front. So I hope it will hold up until I wrap this video up. But the topic that we're discussing today is actually staying firm in your boundaries and actually identifying what your boundaries are. So this topic is all about mental health boundaries. So I'll touch on how you do that, how you set boundaries, and two, I'll touch on my mental health boundaries, and thirdly, I'll touch on what's the impact if you don't have boundaries where mental health is concerned. So what is the reason why I decided to shoot this video, let me start there, is because this amazing thing that God has done for me, it required me to be firm in my boundaries. I had to remember things that I had said. I'm not going to do A, B, and C until DEF has been done. So I found myself in a situation where I needed to be strong and firm in those boundaries, and it paid off. It paid off. So I'll share the story once I can reveal what has been happening. But basically, it's that I had set specifications, boundaries, and saying this is my limit. And when this thing happened, it fell below my limits, and I needed it to meet my limits. So I pushed back, I stood my ground, and God rewarded me for staying firm in my boundaries. Oh, guys, cool. So how do you do it? Firstly, you can't say you have boundaries if you haven't defined what those boundaries are. So you sort of need to sit, and you know yourself very well. So you have to sit and identify things that tick you off, basically, and say, I can tolerate someone making fun of me, in our space. But if they make fun of me in public, then that's my boundary. That's just an example. So you need to sit down, you know yourself, you know what doesn't sit well with you, and you know the point where you can tolerate it up until. Remember, I got a nice definition of what boundaries is. It's a line which marks the limit. So it's your no point. That's basically what it is. So you need to sit and say, okay, where my mental health is concerned, these are my boundaries. Like for instance, you could say, I don't answer calls at night. I put my phone on flight mode. And if a phone rings, you don't pick it up because it makes you anxious. So that is your boundaries, that no calls after 9. And people in your life need to respect that, because anything that comes after 9, it could be that someone is in an accident or something bad has happened. And the minute your phone rings, you assume the worst. So that is a boundary. Do you get it? So you need to sit and define your boundary. And guys, please, just be realistic. where your boundaries are concerned. Just try to keep them simple and clear. That's it. Simple and clear. And the third thing, you need to stay firm within those boundaries. What does it mean? You tell someone that I don't take calls after 9. On a random day, they call you after 9. And you see that, oh, it's Shumega calling me. You pick up. You haven't stayed firm in your boundaries. The boundary is there for a reason. So once you identify them, they need to be simple, clear, and concise, like to the point that this is my boundary. This is my no point. You need to stick to them. This is now where the principle of values and standing up for what you believe in comes up. Because guys, if you don't believe in something, it doesn't matter who tries to persuade you. They will never be successful in persuading you otherwise. So you need to not compromise where your boundaries are concerned. It doesn't matter what it is. If someone is not supposed to call you after 9, they need to learn that you're not going to pick up so that they never do it. Because now if I call you after 9 and on this random day you pick up, I'm assuming that it's okay. Do you get it? So if you don't pick up and you tell me, Tumeka, I don't pick up calls after 9, and let's say I call you again after 9, you don't pick up, then you staying firm in your boundaries and you're saying, I'm not picking up this call because 9 is my cutoff. This is just a simple example of what it is. I'll get to what my boundaries are and how I actually reached that point of saying these are my mental health boundaries. Cool. And now you're sitting there and you're like, I don't have boundaries. Like, I get easily persuaded, or I say this is my boundary and then I change my mind. What do you do in those circumstances? You start small. So set small boundaries that are realistic, practical, and doable, and then you stretch it out a bit. Just learn the principle of saying no because they've reached that point. Do you get it? So this phone thing that I'm talking about now, it's a good example. Guys, calls at night, they make me feel anxious. They make me feel very anxious. I can't remember the last time anybody has called me after 10. It's not a boundary. It's really not a boundary. It's really not a boundary. But I've been lucky enough that nobody has called me in the wee hours of the morning. But I think if someone were to call me around 12 or midnight, I'll probably wake up my husband and say pick it up, because I would be so stressed out that it's not good news that's coming. So you start small and you branch out. But remember, not everything can be a boundary. Just remember that. Okay. So that's a how. Now I'm going to get into the example of what are some of my mental health boundaries. One, the first one and the most important, the one that puts me off, like in a major, like it puts me off, like if you want to put me off, do this. One, it's jokes where mental health is concerned. The people who think it's okay to joke about mental health, they tick me off. That's my limit. Like if you're my friend and you do something like that, we're probably never going to be friends. Or I'm probably going to call you off in such a manner that if you understand, you're going to apologize. Or if you don't understand, we're never going to be friends. Guys, it's not okay to joke about mental illness. It's not okay to tell people, ooh, you don't have anxiety, you're just crazy. It's not okay. It's not okay. So if you want to put me off, there's my boundary. It doesn't matter how tiny the joke is. I don't laugh. Because each and every day I'm facing this monster. Each and every day I wake up and I'm starting to question, how is my day going to be? I wake up and I'm like, it's going to be a good day. But my anxiety comes in and it's like, not today. You're not going to have a good day today because I'm paying you a visit. So it's a topic to me that's unfigured. It's a topic to me that is sensitive. It's a topic to me that is you know, you need to tread very carefully, because mental illness is unfigured. Let me put it that way. What do I mean that mental health is unfigured? It's because we haven't pinned it down as to, if this happens, this is what you know, we haven't penciled it up. You know, with a headache, it comes, you take a pill, and then if it's not strong enough, you take a stronger pill, and eventually it goes away. With mental health, it's a trial and error every single day. That maybe if I do this, maybe it will subside. Maybe if I do this, then I won't get anxious. It's a mystery. It's a mystery. Now you coming and you're making a joke, and imagine that day, that's the day my mental illness is confusing the life out of me. And now you think it's okay to joke about it. So that's my first boundary. I call you out, and if you take it very, you know, you take it as, you know, feedback and just improving yourself and what you can and can't joke about, then we're all good. But if you don't and you think it's okay, then that's me. The second one, it's for me, it's what I call trigger check, and identifying them. That one, it's not a certain boundary. Almost like there's certain things that I can't do because they hypen up my anxiety, you know. Let me say, like what, like there was a point where I couldn't go to Pick n Pay here on my own because I was very anxious leaving the house, because I thought, what if somebody kidnaps me, what if somebody shoots me while I'm walking, and things like that. So for me, going to Pick n Pay was a trigger. So I didn't do it. So my boundary was that I can't go to Pick n Pay on my own. So this one is a little bit hard to say it's actually a boundary, because it could be small things. Like, here's another one. I know that I'm not supposed to drink more than 3 glasses of Coke, but I love Coke so much that I do stretch it out to 4. I know the boundary is 3, but I end up drinking 4. So it's basically things that you know are gonna make you very anxious, but you're not calling it a boundary, but it's a trigger check, and just identifying things that make you feel a certain way. That's probably the best way I could explain it. So identify your triggers, know what they are. A trigger needs to be a boundary. Let me put it that way. If you're someone who scared of driving, that's a trigger. If it makes you feeling anxious, it needs to be a boundary that I can't drive. It's as simple as that, guys. You're gonna cause accidents out there. Do you get me? So that's my second one. The third one is my boundary. If I can't, I won't. Guys, there is no way I will be feeling so anxious, super anxious, like on a day. Like, especially when I feel very anxious, I start thinking the most negative things, like I'm gonna die, someone might shoot me, I might get in a car accident, things like that. And you say, let's go out. I listen to my body, I listen to my anxiety. So what I'm trying to say with this one is, don't force yourself. Don't force yourself to do things when you know you can't. Because if you then go out, you become this person who's, you know, you're jittery, you're sitting there, you're not enjoying it, all those negative things, you're not yourself, and things like that. So if I can't do something, I will not do it. It's as simple as that. So listening to my body and responding to what my body is telling me is a boundary. Okay, cool. Number 4, another one that I hate, dismissing my emotions. The minute you start dismissing my emotions, guys, we have a problem. I can't be telling you I'm tired, I'm sad, I'm hurt, I'm this, and you say, no, you're not. Dismissing emotions for me is a boundary. And I call you out and I'm like, there is no possible way you could know how I'm feeling, because there's only one Tumega Moletsane Henkeman. Do you get it? So dismissing my emotions is also a boundary. The last one is asking inappropriate questions where mental health is concerned. Guys, there's a difference between someone who's asking to provoke you and someone who's asking to equip themselves with the knowledge they need around the subject. Like, for instance, let's say I'm taking my medication and a person who wants to learn is going to say, so when did you decide to take the medication in your journey? And then you get this one who's being inappropriate. Hey, Isuka, you don't need that medication. There's a difference. There's a difference. So if I can see that the aim, because when people ask questions about mental illness, you can feel that the empathy, you can feel, I don't want to call it sympathy, the empathy, basically putting yourself in my shoes. You can feel that these people want to learn, and you can see when someone is doing it to provoke you, or you can see when someone is doing it out of ignorance because they are ignorant. So for me, that's a no-no, asking inappropriate questions. So I'll spend 2 minutes or so now to just say, what is the impact of not setting boundaries? So I am suffering from anxiety, depression, and I don't have boundaries. I'm a yes girl, I don't have a point mark. What happens then? One, the stagnant healing. So what I mean about stagnant healing is, instead of seeing vast improvement in your healing, you're seeing like a small jump, it's moving at a very small pace. Like, if I reflect back on how I was this time last year to how I am now, I'm like, whoa, girl, we are beating this thing at its own game. So now if you are sitting and you're like, I don't see much improvement in my well-being, that's stagnant growth. And yes, things like anxiety could start with it being a mild anxiety to being severe, but what moved it from being mild to being severe? Is it circumstances happening in between that you don't have control of, or that you have control? Is it the people that you're keeping in your life that do not add value but keep taking away? What is it? There's a reason you move from mild to severe. It's triggers that have happened. They have happened because you have no limits, kind of thing. So think about it, that it could be that it moved from mild to severe because of loss. You have no control of that, over that. It could be that it moved from mild to severe because you let people say and do whatever they want. Then you have a control over the situation, but you didn't do anything about it. Do you get it? So that's the first thing. The second thing, it's basically unresolved emotions. You're angry or you hurt, you cry, and emotions love, anxiety loves emotions. So it loves you to submit to it and be in bed the whole day. So emotions as well do that. I mean, like, if you're angry or if you hurt, you just wanna sleep, you just wanna do this. So anxiety feeds off those moments, I can tell you that. So you become angry because you're not confronting the person who did something to you, because you don't have limits. You're only realizing when you're coming back from something that, actually, I should have said no to this thing. But if you had defined your boundaries, you would have. Do you get it? So now you have actioned something that goes against your beliefs, and then you're reflecting back and you're like, actually, this thing went above and beyond my boundary, yet I did it. And now you're sitting there, you're angry. You've done it. Who are you going to vent to? You can't really vent to the person who you did it with, because it's done and dusted. Do you get me? So you become unresolved emotions. And we've spoken about this, how when we are talking about my emotions and how unresolved emotions actually played a part in my mental illness. Cool. The third thing, no power in your journey. So basically, you don't even know how this journey is moving, because it's in the hands of other people. And lipstick. So sorry, because it's in the hands of other people. Do not, do not, do not, I repeat, let other people dictate how you heal. They don't have a say in how you heal, guys. So don't ever give someone the satisfaction to have the power to control how you're supposed to heal where mental illness is concerned. Cool. And then you become a walkover or a pushover. They know you will do it. They know you will do it. They know you could be going through the most in bed and your anxiety is, whoo. They know if they call you and be like, let's go out, you're gonna go. Even when you're saying, I can't go, I'm feeling very anxious, they're like, no, man. So basically, you easily persuaded. You easily persuaded. It's that. There's no further explanation. Okay, and the last thing, you neglect self-awareness and self-care. Guys, you're the most important person in your life. You. Without you, you need to take care of yourself first before you start taking care of people around you. If you neglect self-awareness and self-care, you are pouring out of a very empty cup, because you're pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring, but this thing that's pouring is not feeding back to refill. So you'll find that you're taking on people's emotions, you're taking on people's burdens, you're taking on people's dilemmas and making them your own. You will find that, you know what, I could have actually prevented something from happening, but because I couldn't say no, I couldn't, and now it's impacting me. You matter. You need to come first in everything that you do. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work. It's as simple as that. So I hope you'll enjoy this video, and the reason why I did this video is just I was in a dilemma where my boundaries actually paid off for me. So set your boundaries. As I've said, identify what kind of boundaries you want to have. Start very small. Let your boundaries be clear, precise, and on point. And then last but not least, you stick to them. You stick to them. Like, a boundary is the same as a value. Like, no one should be in a position to persuade you otherwise, because it's something you believe in. So I hope you guys will have a beautiful Saturday. It's cold in Cape Town, so I'm back to cuddling on the couch and watching the river. I hope you'll have a beautiful, beautiful day, and I'll see you guys soon. I will not say when. Bye.